Jessica, and you are watching The Reclamation, a publication from Meridian Integrative Wellness that inspires courageous action for inside out healing. Lifestyle is the biggest factor on overall health and well being, and it's the key to preventing, treating, and often even reversing chronic disease. So, naturally, Sober October is of great interest to me as a health coach, considering the fact that alcohol is the third leading cause of preventable death in the U.S., just behind tobacco and poor diet and inactivity. Even if you haven't gotten on board with exploring your relationship with alcohol just yet, it should at least be on your radar if you care about your health. And I know that you do, so listen up. Here are a few strikes against alcohol that you may be unaware of. From a disease standpoint, alcohol and its accompanying mixers are extreme amounts of sugar that are dumped into your bloodstream that contribute to systemic inflammation. Strike one. Alcohol changes the levels of serotonin and other neurotransmitters in your brain and your gut, which can worsen anxiety. Strike two. Alcohol is more addictive than cocaine. Really scary. Strike three. Does anybody else hear Mr. Mackey from South Park in their head right now? Alcohol is bad, okay? It's not a huge secret that alcohol consumption probably isn't helping your physical or your mental health, but it's often one of the things that my clients are most resistant to giving up. Even when they say they'll do anything to feel better, they have a lot of trouble with this one. I mean, if you pay attention to social media or mainstream media, or just pay attention in your own life, you know that alcohol is steeped into our culture. It's used to unwind, celebrate, soothe, commiserate, and everything in between. Difficult conversation? Let's do that conversation over a glass of bourbon. Meeting friends for dinner? Get a pitcher of margaritas. Celebrating someone getting married? Let the champagne flow. Having a romantic dinner? Pair it with a nice wine. Long day at work? Crack open a beer. Dancing at a club? Let's try a fun cocktail. Are you nervous about dancing at a club? Make it a double. Drinking alcohol isn't just socially acceptable, it's normalized in all occasions, and it's often even encouraged. Loosen up a little bit, right? No wonder why people are so resistant to even considering giving it up. They associate it with almost everything, good or bad, in their life. Plus, there are some positives. People drink alcohol to have fun. Being drunk makes you feel happy. If you're nervous in social situations, drinking helps you relax and enjoy yourself a little bit more. In general, most people feel like alcohol enhances their experience, and it does in the very short term. So maybe you're among the many, many people who believe that alcohol helps you to relax and unwind. Well, you're right, sort of. Let me explain. Alcohol's a depressant, so when you drink, what happens is dopamine is flooding your brain in its pleasure center. So your body says, I'm relaxing. This feels really good. Your brain says, alcohol is really good for me. Let's do this more often. Then in the short term, what happens? Your dopamine levels start to dip back down, and then feelings of anxiety rebound. And then you go ahead and add in some interrupted sleep to the mix, which is really common with alcohol consumption. And then feelings of depression and anxiety get even worse. If any of this sounds familiar, I ask you to ask yourself again, does alcohol really help me unwind? Or does it end up winding me up even tighter? I'm not here to judge you one way or another. There are positives and negatives to consider here. But my job as a health coach is to help you think more critically about your own role in your own well-being. So now it's time to create some insight and then turn it into action. I'm going to give you 3 action steps right now. Journal about these questions, write them down, share your thoughts with other people. Sure, you could just think about your answers, but I strongly urge you to leave a comment below because sharing your thoughts and ideas with other people helps build momentum, excitement, and insight. And in turn, all of those things lead to more action, which is precisely why you're here, right? You want to make some changes and you want to get healthier. So here are the three action steps or the things that you can journal about. Number one, what are the positive aspects of drinking? I started talking about a few of those. Think about how those might apply to your own life and come up with other ways that drinking positively impacts your health and well-being. And then on the flip side of that, what are the negatives? Make yourself a good old-fashioned pros and cons list if that helps. Number two, what will my future look like if I change my drinking habits? And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, what will my future look like if I don't change my drinking habits? And then number three, if you've decided to go ahead and give yourself a break from booze and start exploring your relationship with alcohol, come up with your if-then scenarios and write them down. The point here is to anticipate real-life scenarios that have the potential to trip you up and then find reasonable solutions for them. Many of my clients will often keep their handwritten if-then scenarios in their purse or their wallet, so they don't panic when they find themselves in one of these situations and just revert back to their old behaviors. They have that list right there. They can pull it out and remind themselves, oh yeah, I have other options, okay? So here are some examples of if-then scenarios. If I start to feel uncomfortable in a social situation, then I'll excuse myself and go take 5 rounds of deep breaths. Or if I'm invited to happy hour, then I'll call ahead to the restaurant to discuss what the mocktail options are. Or if my friends question why I'm not drinking, and they will, then I will tell them that I'm focusing on my health and well-being and just trying to figure out what alcohol's role should be. So when you're more prepared, you're more likely to make good decisions. If you're in any way intrigued by the idea of challenging the status quo and your relationship to alcohol, join me. Comment below and let me know that you're in for Sober October. And if you're ready to transform your life and your health in terms of calming chronic symptoms, having more energy, improved mood, sleep quality, digestion, reduction of pain and inflammation, you need to check out what I have to offer with one-on-one coaching. You might have been thinking about making healthy changes for a really long time now, but you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure what to do. Or alternatively, the changes I try to make never actually stick. Well, you, my friend, are a perfect candidate to work with me. And I'm telling you, your quality of life, how you feel when you wake up in the morning and throughout your day will drastically improve. Seriously, go to meridianiw.com and just do some reading. Check out all of the details. They're all right there. And while you're on our website, if you have not yet subscribed to our email list, that's got to be top priority because we send the best emails twice a month. They're inspiring, they're educational, and most importantly, they will help you help yourself to start feeling better. So get on that list. Now, until next time, you know what to do. Get out your journal and start working through those 3 action steps. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.